It's been a few months since I did my last bike check video, and I want to keep you guys up to date on what's going on with my bike. What I like, what I don't like, what's new, and what's being taken off. As you guys know, I really love the Wolf Tooth Fat Paw grips. I've been running these for quite a few months now, but their time has come. They're getting kind of funky on the edges, so I cut them off earlier today, and I installed a brand new pair of a black version of the Fat Paw. I think the black looks a lot better on my bike than the old gray. I'm also running some custom caps bar end plugs that have a little funny message on the side, and they are quite beat to shit already. I crash, it happens. But those bar end plugs are a perfect complement to the Wolf Tooth Fat Paws because the little bar end plugs that come with the Fat Paws are dinky and they fall out, especially when you're constantly crashing. According to Strava, the Bronson has 650 miles on it right now. The DVO suspension and the night carbon wheels came on about 100 miles into the bike. And the night carbon wheels were demo wheels, so God knows how many miles they already had on them. The DVO suspension is still running strong. It's still something that I want to learn more about. I still want to learn about volume spacers and messing with progression and all that stuff that I'm very much still trying to figure out. But I'll keep playing with it and I'll keep getting better. And hopefully when I do, I'll be articulate enough to teach a layman's version of what I've learned. The night carbon wheels are still very stout. The decals aren't faring so well, but the wheels are doing just fine. I've been running Maxxis Minions on this bike from the beginning, still had the original tires. 650 miles later, the front tire, not looking so bad. The back tire, it was time to switch. So I upgraded to Maxxis Minions WT, so it's the wide tire version. And it's a 2.5 up front and a 2.4 in the rear. Haven't ridden it yet, so I'm hoping a little extra meat is going to help me out in the trails. Get me through those technical sections a wee bit faster. I have nothing but great things to say about the Maxxis Minion tires. For real, like, they've gone all over the world, they've gotten beat to shit, and they were still running very strong. The sealant wasn't even leaking. I don't even remember the last time I checked the sealant, and I checked it today when I took these tires off and made the swap. There was still plenty of sealant in there. No boogers, no nothing. So I think that kind of is a good testament to those tires. And of course, putting on the new tires was a pain in the ass. But the good thing about a tire that is hard to put on is that once you actually get it on, when you pump it up, you can just pump it up with a normal pump and it'll seat. You know, if it's super easy to put that tire on, that means there's going to be some air gaps and it's going to be a lot harder to get the tire to seat. But running tubeless just fine. It was also time for some new brake pads. These are also the original brake pads that have lasted for many, many miles. So I'm very happy with the way the bike is held up. No major mechanical problems, nothing crazy, and stuff has lasted for quite a while. I've brought this up before, but it's my theory that 80% of mountain bikes, even super expensive mountain bikes, probably never hit 1,000 miles. I think it's the 20% of us that actually ride the hell out of our mountain bikes and put them through the ringer, and it's the other 80% that just sit in some rich guy's garage and never get touched. And you know, he might think like, oh yeah, I ride every weekend. I ride like 20 miles every weekend, so I do like 1,000 miles a year. But if you actually went through and counted the miles and how many hours that bike had gone through, it's probably not that much. Which is also kind of a good reason to buy a used bike, because I'm sure most of these things are just hanging in a garage, gathering dust. I also just retired my Shimano XT trail pedal. They were bulletproof forever. They're still really good, but I'm gonna try out these Issy trail pedals, see how they feel. If they suck, I'm gonna dump them and go right back to the Shimano XT, put the old dogs back on. The Issy pedals are pretty sweet because they have all kinds of different colors. I went with the chrome color, kind of the more natural metal, but if you want to go crazy, they've got pink ones and blue ones and green ones and all kind of ones. The Eagle drivetrain's been rock solid as well. No problems at all. I've got an extra chain just in case this one kind of takes a dump, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. I use that 12th gear quite often and not ashamed to say it. And yes, I still have the Orbea OEs. It's just hanging in the garage right now because the trails are so wet. It's been raining like crazy in Northern California over the past couple months. I've only been able to ride the bike one time, and it was great. It's very good, but here's my impression of me riding this bike and doing a video about it. I don't know how entertaining that video would be. I think the #1 suggested item on my road trip ready video was ice chest. So I got one of these ice chests from my buddy Dan, who owns the Headwaters Kayak Shop in Lodi. A ton of you guys suggested the Arctic cooler, but this is by a company called Feel Free, which also makes kayaks. So I'm assuming they kind of already got some plastics knowledge and they, said, hey, we make kayaks, we can make coolers. I did use this thing on my recent SoCal trip and it held ice for about 3 days. By the 4th day, it was pretty much water, but those first 3 days, good amount of ice. I'm impressed. And as always, there's a link in the description with all this stuff kind of listed out. Not to get too far off the subject of bikes, but I've also been rocking the Yeti tumbler, which I've been enjoying so far, keeping drinks cool. And of course, I got my little Patreon sticker on there. You guys on Patreon that are supporting me at the higher level, expect your stickers very soon once the month changes over. One piece of gear that I 86'd from my kit was a 100% Speed Coupe glasses. They are great sunglasses. They look great. I use them in the car now, but when I'm riding, they just constantly slip down my nose. And I do not have a small nose, so it should be a pretty good perch for those sunglasses. And everybody's like, oh, get some croquis or, tie them on. Or I don't want to have another thing to worry about. So I went back to my old sunglasses. Probably had them for 6 years now. Good old reliables. I've been using this Smith Forefront helmet for a couple months now. I got it on a sweet ass sale on backcountry.com for like 88 bucks. The price was right on that because these helmets are normally 250 bucks. Your head is very important. It's very important, but 250 bucks, whew. And it doesn't even have MIPS. Come on. It looks like shit now. It's kind of taking quite a beating from just traveling and that New Zealand trip, you kind of throw all your bags in the back of the van and you take them out. So I'm kind of glad I didn't spend $300 on this helmet because I'd be worrying about, is it going to get nicked? Is it going to kind of get messed up? But yeah, it already looks like it's 2 years old and it's been 2 months. So doesn't matter that much to me. It just matters that it saves my head when the time comes. I went for my first night ride recently, and I was pretty impressed with the performance of the lights I used. I had the Sigma Buster 600 on my helmet, and then I had the Sigma Buster 2000 on my handlebars. When you're actually out there on the trail in real life and these lights are blazing, it is really, really good. They're pretty good for the GoPro. I had them on the second to the highest setting because I just wanted to survive the ride. This video would have been no good to me if I would have had to walk home with my flashlight iPhone, like trying to navigate back to the car. So there's priorities between filming a video and actually surviving the ride. The Sigma Buster 2000 has a big battery attachment that you can strap onto the down tube like I did, and it actually has USB ports as well. You could charge your phone or charge a Garmin with it. I want to welcome everyone that's kind of joined the channel within the past few weeks. There's been a big spike in growth. I've had a couple really good videos that were really awesome trails, and that's what the mission is, to go out and ride the best trails in the world. I started this channel in April 2016. I worked on it for a few months. I saw that people really enjoyed it, so around August of 2016, I quit my job and I started this full time because I knew if I could grow an audience, I could turn this into a business. And so far, so good. I am on the right track. I'm hitting my goals all along the way, and the most important part is that I get so many comments and emails and messages from people that say that I've inspired them to get out on the trail. And that's what this is all about. Me riding my mountain bike and inspiring you to do the same. As long as you guys keep watching these videos and keep enjoying them, I'll keep making them. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the trail.